Hey there, this is Ill Factor from beatacademy.com. In this video, I'm going to share with you some methods I use to sample sounds in my productions. First thing I do is head over to my browser. And in Ableton Live 10, you can now create collections, and I can go immediately to certain collections that I've created and access certain samples and things like that. Often I might actually venture into folders that I have in my places and just locate sounds and files that I like. But a lot of times I'm just hitting the search field and I'm typing in stuff. It could be random. It could be naked zebras, snares, pads, whatever. So let's type in days and go to all results. And then this will show any file on my places that have the word days in it. So let's just pick one. So here's a song here that we'll use. So what I'm going to do is create a MIDI track. And I'm going to drag and drop this in that window. And it's going to load a sampler with that song loaded in there. So I can easily trigger it with my MIDI controller. Now I can move the play starting position anywhere in this and then just have it play all across my MIDI controller, my keyboard. And that'll change. And sometimes that might even be enough to get inspired and start moving in a direction with that. But usually what I like to do is head over here and make sure that I have the starting position starting at a good section. And then I'll go and head over to slice mode. And what this would do is create markers for every transient that that's detected in the sampler. So now if I go an octave down, I can trigger. Once I have the slice markers placed at samples and locations in that file that I like, I'll go ahead and start triggering and coming up with different patterns, and hopefully just to get inspired and start moving towards creating something around that. So let's give that a try. And so you can now hit the capture feature in Ableton Live 10, and it actually captures that performance in whichever sequence that I've created. It kind of located where it thinks the downbeat is, and you can see it right here. So that's a really neat feature. So I'm using that to kind of just capture that performance I did without having to think about recording it, finding the tempo, finding all that. So we're going to play this back. And so now with that playing, we can go back and globally shift the transpose here. And I can adjust the fading in and fading out of each individual slice. So it's really cool to create these nice little inspiring moments. So once I've got that cool little riff, what I'll simply do is record it into audio, and then I'll sequence it so that it's actually in time, it has a grid, and start revolving everything around that idea. So what I'm going to do is just simply go to an empty audio track that I have here. In the input, I'm going to choose resampling, and I'm going to hit the record button, and this will basically record anything that's being heard currently within the session. So let's just hit the record button. So I've got that 1-bar riff here, and now let's just go ahead and loop it. So muting the second track, which is the sample that we've triggered, let's just listen to this. So there's a couple of things now you can do. I can adjust the grid, make sure that certain notes are there. Now I can click this and stretch this note out a little bit and see what we get. So I might want to change the mode from beats to complex. And adjust the timing of any samples that I need to. And so just to kind of make everything fit. And we could transpose it up or down here. And we can also reverse it and see what kind of cool effects we get when we're doing it. So I kind of really like just that first measure when it was reversed. So just this much here. And what we'll do is just stretch this out and reverse the whole thing again. So that's just one method of using samples, importing them into a simpler, and using the slice mode to really just get inspired, hit the ground running with some ideas, and get carried away in that manner. Now with the simpler having the slices already still in place, you can simply right click over the sample and choose Slice to New MIDI Track. And what that will do is that's going to go ahead and create a brand new MIDI track with the samples broken up into its own drum rack. So now each individual slice is broken into a drum rack, which creates a simpler for each individual slice. And this is really cool because now you can change the tempo. Unlike in the simpler, if you globally transpose, it would transpose all the slices. Now I can have individual simplers and transpose up and down individual slices. So this is really cool to comb through some of those slices and navigate and find those nice little one hits. So just like that nice bass hit here at the beginning. So that is also another great way to arrive at the same destination. And however way you go into sampling when using Ableton Live, understand that it's a great tool to use to get inspired, to really help you find this golden nugget of a riff or something that really just helps inspire you to get started. And I usually use that as the core of maybe a song that I might start to write and produce around. So these are just one of the many methods I use when sampling in Ableton Live to help me get inspired and start producing. And speaking of getting inspired, I've created a sample pack filled with construction kits, loops, sounds, one-hits, percussions, transition effects, and things like that that you can use in your projects right away. And this is yours absolutely free. It's my gift to you for watching this video. So simply click the link below in the description box, or you can visit www.beatacademy.com/pack. Go ahead and download this free sample pack and start using this right away. I'll see you next time.